Well, the galvanic skincare really came about in Europe about 30, 35 years ago, and it's used in the spa. And of course, as we all know, 35 years ago, electronics came in great big boxes and rather scary looking, consumed a lot of electricity, big power cords stuck in the wall. And the high-end spas in Europe provided to their customers very good skin treatment that used galvanic current, electricity, to help deliver active ingredients to the skin. And what happened as the years progressed, we've managed to get into microcircuits and everything, and it became possible to actually shrink down that whole spa environment, not just the instrument itself, but the esthetician who does the adjustment of the knobs and dials on the big instrument. We were able to put that logic right into the microchip and then actually build this small handheld unit that can deliver the same thing that can be done in a spa for a whole lot more money with bigger instruments and everything. So when that came about, a number of years back, we took advantage of it, and we said, this is a great skincare tool. And as our customers started to use it, we discovered that they were getting such a fast response to the skin. We said, there's got to be more to this deal. And we did some work in the laboratory. It was done at the University of Oklahoma. And we took a look at and to see what the electricity was doing with the active ingredients. And what we found at that time was that the skin is actually made more receptive because of a galvanic spa system treatment, but not just while the electricity is being applied, that this favorable condition persists for up to 24 hours, which was the limit to our testing. I mean, we kept people in the lab around the clock sampling every 2 hours in this in vitro system in the lab, and that they had to go home. They had to go get something to eat, go home. So we stopped at 24 hours. But even at the 24-hour point, the skin was more receptive to these cosmetic active ingredients. And we said, you know what? There's medical literature on using electricity in medicine, but there's nothing out there that really describes this persisting effect. And so we filed a patent on that. And now we actually have technically understood what our customers have been telling us for many years. Yeah, that's how we got to the instrument, and we got to the patent that actually protects that for Nu Skin. No one else can make that claim. No one else has that understanding. And I've talked to a couple of MDs, and I've gotten some pretty interesting contacts out of the medical field that they were telling me. They said, now, in the medical field, you mean to tell me that when we do this medical treatment and we send the patient home, that maybe we should have left that beneficial drug on the patient? Because, and I said, well, you read the patent, you go figure it out, because we're a cosmetic company. But cosmetic-wise, we see this persisting effect, and they just smile and nod and they walk away. And we've got a number of people in the medical community that are asking the question about what greater benefit can they provide from what we've learned on the cosmetic side with the galvanic spa system. Oh, definitely. And in the medical environment, which is a completely separate thing, the current levels are higher and they use drugs. And we all know all the work that has to go behind drugs, and drugs usually have a lot of side effects and things. This is patterned after the galvanic spa experience in Europe, where low current levels were used and cosmetic active ingredients, things that benefit the epidermis, are used. And the nice thing there is we've been able to actually take that human being who sets the current levels in the spa, and we've added circuitry to the galvanic spa system and a logic system that actually measures the body the very first time that galvanic spa system is set and then touched to the skin for that session. It will automatically set the current level just as an esthetician would have done in a spa. So we've kind of put all the safety of that experienced spa person and all right into that handheld instrument for Nu Skin. Well, it's kind of the same thing that if you were to think about an electric motor. If you don't plug it in, it doesn't do very much work at all. It might make a good paperweight, but it doesn't work. And when we apply the power of an electromotive force, this small galvanic current, it sets up a whole different physical environment for the active ingredients to be delivered to the skin. So the skin responds. It has much more nutrition, and it has much more of that active ingredient. And the first step, we're cleansing the skin, taking all those micro impurities that you really can't get just by washing your face. you've got to use a little bit of electric current to motivate the activity. And then in the second step, when we do the treatment, we're using the treatment step for two purposes. In the treatment step, you're not only delivering the beneficial ingredients to the skin, like the magnesium, but you're also pulling out any fine leftover impurities from the first pre-treatment step. So that second step is so important. It's delivering hydration to the skin, which is why you're getting this great texture change. It's delivering the active ingredients. It's energizing the skin, the mitochondria in the skin. It's actually providing a whole lot of benefit to the skin that you really can't get by just applying topically a product. And we have a complete system, and that's very important. When one builds a product to be used with a galvanic spa system, in the spa itself with the big instruments and the estheticians, or in our compact unit, they have to be built chemically specifically for use under the influence of that galvanic current. So you can't just use any old product. And, of course, it's a lot cheaper to just grab some jelly-looking thing and put it with a little battery in a box and sell it and claim it's like Nu Skin's. But it certainly isn't. We tested our system together. The other thing is the Nu Skin Galvanic Spa System has those interchangeable heads. And we found that, if you want to treat scalp, you need something that has the gentle comb fingers, like in our scalp treatment instrument. The body head that's attached, these heads are interchangeable on our units. Other units don't have those interchangeable heads. That's patented. That's unique to Nu Skin. So if you're treating the body, you put on the body head. If you're treating the face, you put on the face head. If you're going to do a spot treatment, you put on the spot treatment head. That means a small area of skin, like around the crow's feet or the upper lip. If you're going to treat a small area, you use our spot treatment head. That's completely unique to Nu Skin. The fact that we have the esthetician inside the galvanic spa system, that is, when you use the instrument, as you set it up to use it and you touch it to your skin, you'll hear 1, 2, or 3 beeps, and that means low, medium, or high current levels. That's what the esthetician does. Now, I went to California, Beverly Hills area, and went to a spa there, and they gave me a galvanic spa treatment. Took a long time. It was really great. I spent about an hour and a half there. But what they did is when they put everything on my face and touched the electrodes to my face, she says, now I'm going to turn up the current. You tell me when it hurts. And you know what it did? I said, ow. She says, okay, that's the top, and we'll dial down from there. Well, that's where you have an experienced esthetician. Well, we did that by putting the circuitry into the galvanic spa system. So the unique thing with Nu Skin's galvanic spa system that no one else has, and that's that self-setting current level like the esthetician would do. So it measures your skin quickly and says low, medium, or high current. And that can change. You could do it in the morning and you get the high setting, like 3 beeps. In the afternoon, you may get 1 beep. Your hydration, the conductivity of your skin has changed, what your skin needs, and that instrument will sense it. That's something that's completely unique to Nu Skin. Another thing that's unique is the fact that you can set the polarity. There are some little inexpensive instruments out there that only have one polarity, and that is the part that would touch your face or your body is only negatively charged, or it's only positively charged. In a Nu Skin's instrument, we set it. Depends on the gel you're using. In our facial system, the pre-treatment gel is used as the first step, and the facial contact head has a negative charge to it. But in the treatment step, that same surface on the galvanic instrument now sets to a positive charge because the beneficial ingredients in the second step, the treatment, are positively charged. That's unique to Nu Skin. No other company has that selection between the two and the self-setting currents. And also, we allow people to set the timing. In our test, we've tested 2 minutes in pre-treatment and 3 minutes in treatment. Now, we know in the field, our team elites and our people doing demonstrations, because they're doing one-on-one with the people watching them, they usually do a 5-minute pre-treat and a 5-minute treatment. That's okay, but some people can't take that. Some people have very delicate skin. Seems to be a lot of Asian people. So we will allow people to set their time for 1, 2, 3, or 5 minutes on either the positive or negative. So that's what's unique to Nu Skin as well, is that you can set the time. The polarity changes, depends on the product that's being used, and the interchangeable heads are unique to Nu Skin. Not to mention the gels themselves are completely proprietary to Nu Skin and contain some rather cool ingredients to deliver benefit to the skin. So that's kind of the summary. I could go on for a couple of 10 hours. Well, we actually, in the original galvanic spa system system treatment that's done in Europe is done a couple times a week, and probably most likely because the benefit does persist, but most importantly is just the cost. I mean, you've got to be somewhat affluent to go for a couple $100 treatment twice a week. So, usually it's done 2-3 times a week. That was our original testing with this galvanic spa system. Now, that also allows us to a starting point, a tested, safe starting point. Again, we use 2 minutes in the pre-treat and 3 minutes in the treatment. So when someone just pops the instrument out of the box, they read what we've tested. They read what is the most gentle, basic approach. Now, as they learn, they can increase the time. They can do it more frequently. And some people get increased benefit. We definitely see people, as they use this repeatedly, that's a couple times a week, over weeks and weeks and weeks, they get this accumulated benefit. And it's just tremendous. I mean, you probably hear more stories than I hear internally. In fact, technically, we're trying to catch up with the performance in the field. People are telling us so much about what's going on. We're constantly going back, taking a look at the galvanic instrument, saying, there's a lot going on in here. And our distributors are telling us this. What is the benefit? What is happening in here? And so what happens is the skin really starts to remodel. It starts to become more youthful. That's a couple times a week. Now, some people do it once a day, every day. I've heard that. And also, we did a clinical study with our True Face line corrector. Our True Face line corrector is a product that contains a peptide that stimulates collagen production in the skin. And what we found in testing with Dr. Zoe Dralos out in North Carolina, she's a world-renowned dermatologist, cosmetic dermatologist. She did the study for us, and she found that with the galvanic spa system used to help deliver the active ingredient that's in that True Face line corrector, that we get faster benefits. That is, the customer doesn't have to wait so long for all the biology to start to change in the skin, and the change that they get is greater. And that is used twice a day, every day. So with the galvanic spa treatment system, we can use the spot treatment head with True Face line corrector, and our customers are using that. When they use it with the galvanic system, they use it morning and evening every day, and they get faster and greater benefit with True Face line corrector. So overall, the galvanic spa system, the way we set it up, is kind of an entry level, very, very low reaction, low problems, very easy for people to do, and then our customers always take it to the point where it benefits them the most. Well, that True Face line corrector, that pentapeptide that is in there, is actually the little tail end of the collagen. We're trying to build collagen in the skin because that declines as you get older or you expose to the sun, and that declines. But the interesting thing that nature has provided to us is when your collagen goes down, your collagen gets damaged, there's some things in the skin that kind of chew it up. They kind of dissolve it. When they do that, they release the end little piece, and that's the peptide. Beautifully, that little end peptide is also a stimulant. That's the thing that says, okay, I just chewed up my collagen. I must use that signal now to make more. So we supply that to the skin, and with the galvanic spa system, we supply even more of it to the skin. And that little signal, that natural signal that the body uses, but just doesn't get through because you get older, we provide that extra signal, stimulates that collagen production, and that's one of the most remarkable products. It does take a little bit of time. You'll see results probably in 7 to 14 days. A lot of that is the skin's initial response, but after about a month, the skin really starts to build up the collagen, and those crow's feet lines just start disappearing, the lines on the upper lip, and that's all that collagen being stimulated to be replaced in the skin. And you just deliver more with the galvanic spa system. That age-lock technology, and there's going to be much more coming out of Nu Skin on this in the near future, but that particular age-lock technology that addresses a source of superoxide, a very damaging free radical, you have to think about, there's no single bullet magic solution. If we're dealing with a system, we have to treat the skin as a system. There are many aspects to it. And so while we're stimulating collagen with True Face line corrector, and we're using True Face Essence Ultra to stimulate elastin, so you get old, things slow down, and we're giving signals to speed up the turnover and the remodeling using collagen and elastin in the skin. But as you get older, there are counteractive forces going on. So while you're giving positive signals, there's still negative signals in the skin. Those negative signals, we've found, actually show up starting around the age of 30, and they rise. And this is a particular enzyme we've been researching with Purdue University. It's called age-related NOx. That particular enzyme rises as you get older. That's why we call it age-related. And that little stinking enzyme creates an awful lot of free radical, more than you can kind of capture up using fruits and vegetables and all that sort of thing. It actually has to be addressed as a very kind of a terrorist cell, a very negative aspect that is showing up as you get older. And the age-lock ingredients in the TrueFace treatment, in the galvanic spa system treatment gel, are designed to address and slow down, kind of confound that enzyme and reduce the production of that superoxide free radical. So when you use this whole system together, you're going after this negative signal, this source of free radicals. And many of the people on this call that are familiar with Nu Skin have used some products, and what they know, we have a fantastic supplement product called Life Pack. And that's all designed to deal with the overall health of the body and as a nutritional supplement. Many components in there deal with free radicals, excessive free radical generation. And that's what this AR-NOx inhibitor system in the treatment gel is designed to do, and that's to dial down that free radical generation and give all those other positive signals that you're paying for in the form of Nu Skin products, give them the best chance to remodel your skin. So the whole system, the galvanic delivery for the greatest efficacy of delivery to the skin, stimulating collagen and elastin and dialing back the negative signals, is the whole system's approach to dealing with anti-aging.